Hello there, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the next episode of Going from Scary Scalp to Healthy Scalp with Rose Marufo. And so on today's episode, I am going to enlighten you on the difference between dry scalp and seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff, and what is the big difference between the two, right? Because there's huge difference. First, let me say that regular dandruff is caused by when it's dealing with a dry scalp. It's just that we have dry skin and we are shedding skin cells on the daily, just like we are shedding hair every day. We also shed skin cells. So when it's like the little small dry ones that pop up on our shoulders, or is just like loosely on your hair, that's just simply telling you that we have a dry scalp and that you need to just start doing something at home and doing scalp treatments and doing scalp inspections to ensure or to alleviate that problem, right? And so then we've got seborrheic dermatitis, which is, and again, another fancy word for just dandruff, right? But the difference between this dandruff is you're going to notice it's going to be bigger, scaly flakes. They tend to be either like a white or a yellowishy type of color. And what that is basically our scalp overproduces oil. Our oil glands are over exerted and they're producing too much sebum. And what happens is it collects all this oil and we're shedding hairs like skin cells on the daily, right? But because this oil is there and it's real, what it causes is kind of causes like a collection of all this dead skin, right? And they all kind of cluster up together and they kind of form a scale, and they can leave a crust on our scalp, and then it gets itchy, and then it gets irritated, and then you'll like, sometimes we'll even get to where we're itching and then you feel the flake come off and you literally can pull it straight from a hair follicle, and it's like you will even look at it and there will be like a little hole in this, right? And so that's just telling me that we have excessive oil production on our scalp, right? And now it's again getting into your dermatologist's office, making sure, or getting in the right chair with the person who's going to educate you right with the right proper tools, right? Now, there are other issues that can arise as well from just seborrheic dermatitis. You could have a psoriasis outbreak, or if you tend to have eczema, things like that also can start to cause irritation on your scalp. And for that issue, you definitely need to get in to see your dermatologist, and then just trying to work on things to alleviate stress, because that is the definite number one cause of psoriasis outbreaks on our scalp, is when we are under intense emotional stress. So, and I say that for many reasons, right? Getting our stress in control, because when these issues arise, and whether it's like excessive oil gland or we have a psoriasis outbreak, it can cause our scalp to irritate. It can cause us to scratch it, and then we now have an open spot. And this is just another, did you know that hair is like the number one biggest carrier of bacteria on our bodies? So think about it, right? If the sebum is already, if seborrheic dermatitis is already a derivative of like a fungal bacterial thing, and you have an open wound, you can get a bacterial infection on your scalp, or you can get a fungal infection on your scalp, which is yeast, and then that can just cause another array of problems. And for that one, 100% sure, get into your doctor, because what's going to happen is it's not going to be pretty. You're going to end up getting intense large scales. And I feel that I've worked with people that I do work with that end up having these issues, is we wash our hair and then our scalp's not good. So guess what we do? We put our hair up in a wet bun, and then we walk around, or we'll go to sleep with wet hair. And again, moisture, yeast, that's what it thrives off of. So that's when I start to notice My ladies, like right behind the crown, I'm like, oh, do you put your hair up in a bun a lot? Do you sweat around a lot in your nape? That's also going to cause that bacteria from the sweat to like seep in there, and again, cause a yeast infection on our scalp. And it's just not fun. It's not fun for you. It is not going to be fun for our hair. It's not going to be fun for the way we feel. And again, and most importantly for our hair, right? Because what happens in these instances too, our body's going to a shock. Our hair bulbs start to get messed with. And whether it's overproduction of oil, there's no blood flow going in there. It's, caused now a good thick callus on your scalp. Well, now it's definitely not going to cause hair to grow out. And if anything, it's going to actually cause you to go into a telogen effluvium, which is a very intense hair shedding cycle. So yes, all of these issues can also cause hair loss. And that's not fun. And from somebody who has always gone through like just a telogen effluvium or intense hair shedding cycles, randomly, twice was after I had my babies. And that's going to be another completely different video and topic that I'm going to educate you on, because I want you to know the difference of all of the internal and external radicals that can cause us to go into these hair shedding cycles, and us not taking proper care of our scalp, or acknowledging or drawing attention to what the issue is also going to cause A, your hair to look dry, or B, your hair to look oily, or C, your hair to come out. And regardless, again, at the end of the day, this is just not it's not fun. It's not fun for you. And I mean, I'm going to say it, sadly, it can be fun for me, especially in the descaling process, because it's just like, I don't know, I'm changing lives when I'm doing it. But I don't want you to have to get there. I don't want you to have to get there. I mean, listen, I'm here for it all day, but I know the repercussions that come with it, the sensitivity, the embarrassingness, just all of the things that we don't necessarily want to say. And this is going to also be the type of channel where I'm just going to shine truth on you, baby. We may not like it. It may be what it is, but it is what it is, right? And I've just learned the truth sets you free. And if we don't know, then we can't do anything about it. But knowledge brings you power. So this channel, I want to give you that knowledge. I want to give you that power to take this control of your hair and your scalp and feeling beautiful. I want you to have this back in your hands. So on our next episode, I'm going to teach you or enlighten you on the types of products that you could use for a dry scalp. And then I'm also going to teach you on the types of products that you can use for seborrheic dermatitis. And then when it comes to psoriasis or any other type of dry patches that is not the basic, always, always, always go see your derm. There is nothing that I will personally be able to do behind my chair. Again, I am the expert that will guide you towards the right products, but when it comes to a yeast infection or psoriasis outbreak, or you having open lesions on your hair and on your scalp, I'm just going to unfortunately have to say we're going to have to get this issue addressed before we can sit in a chair, because that's not what my job is. I'm not the doctor here, and I'm never going to give you medical advice besides go get in a doctor's chair. And then they will set you up with the proper medications and the proper treatments. And then in the meantime, once we get that in, I will be here for you. And what I can do once we've gotten that issue under control is going to be a descaling procedure. So you will literally come into my chair and I will work with the right products. I'm going to let something sit, and then I will literally go in and descale your scalp. And I can't always guarantee that I'm going to get everything off on that first go, especially if we've been dealing with an issue that's been there for quite some time. And I've seen this in my chair where I'm like, okay, I've done a lot of descaling. We've got some pretty good raw spots. We're going to let it rest. I'll see you in a week or two. We'll follow up with our doctor. all the things. So there are things that are going to be able to cause us to turn everything around. So if you're one of the many people who suffer from these types of issues, know that you are not alone. And know that you have somebody to look out for you, and you have somebody who's on your side cheering you on, and who's going to take you by the hand and just guide you on the proper things that you need to do. So yes, if you have any questions, if you have an issue, leave me a comment. I will get back to you. And if I don't have the answer, I will personally reach out to my doctor and I will ask some questions and I will message you back. And on top of that, if you have any type of topics that you would love to learn about, drop a comment down below and let me know, so I know what kind of feedback and type of knowledge that I can bring your way, because I'm gonna, again, enlighten you on what I feel like is out there. But the reality is, I want you, my viewers, to also tell me what issues you're having, what questions you have, or just things that you need knowledge and light shined on. So that is what I'm here for, babe. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. And most importantly, never forget to fall in love with yourself. Peace, and I will see you next time.